Okay, so the replacement plastic kit came in. I got it off of Amazon. It was pretty cheap. It was like 23 bucks, and what it included was, it included a new fan, this shroud here, and then these two pieces here. And apparently that's the entire assembly. We didn't know what was on here for plastics because all we had was the remnants of what had we had taken off that had melted, so we didn't know how many pieces total it actually encompassed. And that, you know, that's what the fan, for those of you who haven't been following along from the beginning, that's what the fan looked like when we got it. So the replacement fan seems to be a pretty good match. A note to people who are looking to buy these kits: you have to look closely because some of these kits don't include this fan, and if you need a fan, you obviously want to make sure it comes with it. The blades on this fan are quite a bit thinner than these. This seems cheaper, but you know, what do you want for 23 bucks? So this is what's left of this cover. So this is the new cover. There is a U-shaped hole right here that we have no idea what its purpose is. It actually, it wouldn't be for wiring because the wiring comes out over here. So you can see this big hole right here, and we don't know what that's for. There may have just been some sort of there may have been like a knockout plug or something that went in here that you would take out to maybe, I don't know, if for some reason you wanted to visually inspect down there. We're not quite sure. So we're probably going to have to put something over that to cover that, because the air gets sucked in through here. This is a centrifugal fan. The way it works is it inducts the air through the center and blows it out at the outside edge. And because the shroud is on, it causes all of that air to then be channeled out this end, where my hand is now, where it would go into this assembly, which when assembled, a clamshell like this around the cylinder, this part right here is where the air is going to go in, and it's going to have to go and make a turn and then go across the fins of the cylinder and blow out that side. So that's the basic design of it. We just realize now that we have the new parts in and we see how it goes together, that unfortunately these covers go on before the muffler and the intake are installed. You see, this is the hole for this elbow to come through, and I'm sorry, this is the hole for that elbow to come through. This you can tell is the top because it has this hole right here, which is access to the timing chain, the camshaft chain, valve chain adjustment tensioner. I'm having trouble speaking. Anyways, this rubber plug didn't come with the new kit, so we had to rob this from the old one. It's a little damaged, but it'll work. So this is the one that the exhaust has to go through. So we can either take the muffler off to get this on, which means taking the motor back out, because we can't get the muffler off without taking the motor out. And I don't really like the idea of that, because we've already got a crushed, one of those donut type crush washers in there for the exhaust, and we've got that all torqued up, so I really don't want to take that apart. So my suggestion is that we cut a slot right here. We just cut a slot, and I should be able to bend this plastic out of the way enough to actually get it around the exhaust pipe, which is only about that much diameter, and then move it up into position. On the top, I don't think we need to take this elbow off. I think if we take this rubber boot off, we're going to remove the carburetor and take that rubber boot off, or maybe not even take that boot off. We might be able to actually get this to just shoehorn this in there. It's going to be tight. And then there's a slot right here, and there's actually a rib right on the top of the cylinder head that actually sits in that slot. Then, when these two clamshells are snapped together, they've got little clips. There are then screws that are supposed to go in here that are, they're basically, we actually had one left from when we took this all apart. We found one. And it's really just like a sheet metal screw almost. So we can we can scrounge up some of these. So we're not worried about that. We're going to need, looks like just 2 of those. And then 2 more of those here to attach this to this.
And then a couple
and then
there.
2 machine screws that attach this to here like that. Alright, so I think we can do this. So I think the first thing we want to do, let's get that bottom one on first. Let's see if that's going to work. So you know what I didn't do? I didn't bring out anything to cut this. Try and get this dry grass out of there. We don't want to put a bunch of dry grass in there and put it up against the motor.
Like a rat nest and it'll go up in flames again.
Yeah. Like the last poor soul had happened.
Probably the carburetor float was stuck. The other guy and the gas poured all over the plastic.
That's possible.
He probably had this thing over there.
Let's see. Alright, so I think the best place for me to make this cut is going to be right here.
No looking back. Like a band-aid, you do it fast.
Rip it off. Yeah. Alright, so now instead of doing that, pull this through because I can't see on the other side there. This is going to go up over the muffler.
And let me get a better position.
Never mind, I got it. And that's it. That's in. Alright.
Is that good?
Can't see from my house. Trying not to bang your carburetor all up.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of a tricky thing. We already figured that out before.
You can do that.
Okay. So that if it breaks, it's my fault?
Yes.
That's the theory. You sure you listen? Yeah, I was going to say, did you loosen that enough?
I think the diapers came off.
Well, careful. The gas still might be in there. You're going to get it on your clothes. Your mother will kill you. All right, hold on. Before we do anything else, can you turn the engine? No, you can't turn the engine over. I really want to see whether or not this fan is rubbing anything. I guess not. Can't see from my house. Ugh. What are you saying now?
You need to take stuff off.
This bracket?
Yeah. Or the intake.
See what you're saying. That's supposed to go underneath this bracket.
Mm-hmm.
How is that bracket held on? There's two.
This screw is kind of stripped right here.
Let's see. Are those nuts part of the bracket? Are they like attached to the bracket?
No.
Is the head turning though? The head's moving. You're never going to get to loosen.
Now it is.
Yeah, alright. So we need, what is that, an Allen?
No.
That's not an Allen screw?
Nope. They're Phillips head.
Those are Phillips head?
Yeah.
Then they must be all stripped out.
No, this one isn't. It is. It's just been stripped out.
Alright, let me go get my good Phillips head screwdriver and see if it'll grab it. I don't want to reuse these screws if we get them out.
Why?
Because the heads is too, I think they're too messed up.
You want to do this one next? Over here, because that one's stripped.
Here, get on this side and you do the wrench. I'll try and hold it from up here where I can see. If I'm getting a good, I can tell if it's turning or if it's stripping or if it's working. We're lucky those weren't too badly rusted.
But how are we going to get this side over there?
Oh, yeah, that would have to go down underneath it first.
We can bend that tab probably. The metal tab.
You talking about the bracket?
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go. Oh, so close.
We just need to push it down more. It's pretty at the level over here. Can we just
take this boot off of the intake and we got it. If that boot wasn't on there right now, it would be, it would work.
That's 10 mil. Is this 10 mil?
It's not 10 millimeter. Put that on there. Try that. The nut driver. Believe it or not, that is how that's supposed to go. How does plastic doesn't melt?
We need to put this line up here.
Wait a minute.
I think it goes through that hole.
You know what? Maybe that's what that hole's for. So there's a little hole here in the plastic shroud, and we were wondering what that's for, and we're wondering now if that isn't for the vacuum line to come through. So I might be able to sneak.
It's over here. It's not down all the way, bro. Oh no, we had to take that thing. I think we have to take the whole manifold off. We can go down even more.
You're saying this goes? You're saying that hose is going to be on the top of this?
Yeah.
Then the purpose of this hole isn't for that, is it?
Yeah.
So you think it's the nipple for the manifold is what? The manifold line is what it's hanging up on?
Yeah.
Wish I could see.
Did the kit that you buy come with the extra seal for that?
You mean a gasket?
Yeah.
Probably. Yep. Looks like that's what it is.
I wonder what size that is.
10 millimeter.
Exactly. So.
Listen, I got a 10 millimeter socket on a ratchet with an extension right there. Why are you messing with that? I don't know if you just... You know what? Remind me to put this on your Christmas list because you must really love these.
No, I don't. Oh my goodness.
Don't snap it.
That's what I'm doing. Southern.
Here, let me do it.
You're doing back and forth.
Might not even be the nut coming off. That might be the whole stud coming out.
Are you sure?
Happens. Sometimes if the nut's rusted on, they're bad enough. It'll unscrew the whole stud from the engine. Which is okay. Then it's just like putting a bolt back in.
I'm wondering, where did the thing go for this?
Oh, it's under there somewhere. Yeah, that hasn't been off in a long, long time. I can tell.
Rubber mallet.
I'm worried that this is corroded onto the studs there.
Why?
Why am I worried about that?
Yeah.
Because we might have to put so much force on this that it actually breaks the stud. It's really on there. Okay. What if we took this hose off?
But there's a nipple right there.
I understand that, but maybe there's enough room to get the nipple through.
I don't think there is. We can probably just cut a slot in it like we did before.
I tell you, it wouldn't take much.
You know where the slot's supposed to be?
Yeah, I just made an indentation by pushing on it. What the hell are you doing? Trying to cut my fingers off?
No, you took it from me.
Yeah, you released the lock when you did that.
This is called being modifying.
Yeah. We're practically qualified to work at the factory for these things now. Look at that. Success.
You need to do the other thing.
Huh? Bottom one?
Yeah, both of those.
Yeah, see how this is supposed to be in that slot though? You gotta make sure that this bridge See, you got it too far forward, I think. I am kind of curious still about this hole over here. See that little routing thing right there? I wonder if that's for
What little routing thing?
this little clip right here.
Yeah, it goes all around.
What are those for?
Probably for the gas line.
Yeah, they route the gas line around and around in circles around the, so that it can come in contact with more hot stuff to melt.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's part of the auto explosion feature that they've built into these. All right, let me grab one more screw, and then that plastic piece of loveliness will be on.
Then we just need a throttle cable
Yeah, that's all we need.
to test it out. And the chain.
Chain, and you're going to want to put the chain guard on so when that rusty chain comes apart, it won't hit you in the back of the head.
And we need a gear oil.
And you need 3-point restraint. Were you able to finish getting that one tightened over there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a bolt that goes in right here
Let me see.
to the engine.
Yeah.
Any bolts left in there?
One. Really long one. I think that's the one.
You think this is the one that goes in there?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Because.
Because it's the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you want it to be. It's probably going far enough that it'll probably hit the clutch and lock this thing up so it doesn't move. It'd be like a parking brake. When you want to go somewhere, you just loosen this bolt. And you know what the worst part is? We can't reach around that opening and turn the fan blade to see if the engine will turn over. I mean, I'm hoping this is nowhere near going to be in the way, but it's like it could easily be. Right now, it's not in all the way, but it's not tightening anymore. So I'm wondering if it's like pushing on something, like the clutch housing. They still think this is the right bolt?
Not anymore. Does it fit?
It's a lot shorter than the other one. I had the other one almost all the way in before it started to rub on the thing. At least I think that's what it was doing. Alright, I would recommend, like right here maybe, or right here, mount a small fire extinguisher. Matter of fact, maybe even rig up an automatic fire suppression system. You could have the nozzle sit right here, like 3 of them, and the tank right here, and a sensor. So as the fire breaks out from the burning plastic,
Or we can just
it triggers the fire suppression system, just like, you know, they have in gas stations.
Or we can just put a whole water tub, and when the plastic melts, it just
Water's not
raise-
good for putting out gasoline fires. You need a chemical suppression system.
Or that we can just.
You'll probably become asphyxiated as you can't undo the 3-point restraint in time and can't escape the fumes, but at least the go-kart plastics will be only minor damage. Alright, so mosquitoes are starting to come out.
Are we gonna put this away?
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking
Can
now
we at least put the throttle
we
cable?
should quit while we're ahead.
Can we put the throttle cable on?
No,
Why?
because the throttle cable's not going to work, remember?
Why?
Because remember, it's the wrong kind.
No.
So theoretically, we can hook it up to this end, but we can't hook it up to the other end.
How?
We're going to have to make something to...
How can't we hook up the other end?
How can't we?
Why can't we hook up to the other end?
Because what's supposed to be on the other end isn't what's on the other end of the one that I bought. Remember we went through this whole issue?
Didn't
that
I send you one that was correct, but it was too long?
Yes, you did. You're right. We need a 39-inch long cable, and your solution was to send me one that had the correct ends on it that was 80 inches long. And I believe what you suggested we do is just loop it around. So take that extra 40 inches and I don't know, run it up here, loop it around this. That would be real good. Don't worry about it. I know how to make this work. This cable that I got. I got a plan. I'm wondering what this big inlet right here. I'm wondering if there's supposed to be something attached to this.
What?
This sucks air in the front here and blows it out somewhere in the back to cool the, what do you call it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is interesting to me, that the way that this plastic works, it's blocked on this side too. So the air gets sucked in over there, blown around here, and comes out where?
There's a fan thing at the bottom, like a opening up.
It flares out?
Yeah, somewhere. I saw. Right here. You can stick my hand through it.
That's it? That's the best they give? Oh yeah, okay. Blows it right down across the exhaust pipe.
Who's calling you now?
Welcome to Amazon Billing Support. This Cal is to notify you that your account has been charged with $149
This Cal.
auto renewal charges of your Amazon Prime subscription package. For any assistance or to get the refund, press 1.
Oh, I better get my refund. I didn't authorize
Welcome
that.
to Amazon Billing Support. This Cal is to notify you that your account has been charged with
This Cal. Hello.
Thanks for getting connected with Amazon Prime. This is John Morrison. How may I help you?
John Morrison?
Yes, from Amazon Prime.
Okay, John.
How may I help you?
How you doing, John?
Sorry?
How are you?
I am fine. What about you, sir?
I'm doing fine, thank you. So could you explain to me what the charge is? What is that charge for? Hello? Yeah, that guy hung up on me. He did not want to play. I got the same exact call the other night. You know what I told the guy? I asked him what it was for, and he says it's for your Amazon Prime subscription. I said, oh, okay. I said, great. I want that. That's fine. I approve the charge of $149 because there is no such charge on my account. It's a scam. All right, so before we quit for the night, I went and got the throttle cable that Aiden's so excited about. This is from Goof Off Industries. Goof It.
Ew.
GOOL-IL. Goolil? I don't know. There's a very good chance that this was made by the guy who I was just talking to on the phone about my Amazon Prime subscription. Hey, look at this. It comes with a keychain.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, Goof It. Oh, it's GOOF. Oh, that's perfect for you, Goofy.
I'm keeping that keychain.
Oh, definitely. You get free swag with this thing? Look at that. There you go.
Skippy sent me a photo.
Yeah. All right, so
Why didn't you just open up like this, Daddy?
for those of you who aren't in the know about these stupid things, on the carburetor, we've got this hole right here that you have to have, and a cable end that has a little drum on it like that goes in. That actually goes in there like that, and then the cable wraps around this, and then the outer jacket of the cable, this part here, actually mounts on this bracket right here on the carburetor. The original cable that was on this when we took it off, which went up in flames, is right here. So we knew that we needed a cable end that had the drum on the end of the cable like that, but also had this 90-degree bend in it. So we found one that did that. The problem is what's at the other end of this cable. What's at the other end of this cable is this little loop, this little eyelet, which actually goes to a little bracket that can be adjusted along the rod that goes up to the accelerator pedal. So the problem is all of the cables we found online that have that loop on the end are really long because they're made to go all the way up to the cable in the front. They're not made for a go-kart with this rod type of setup that we have on this thing.
Does it even fit that?
It doesn't, but we can modify that bracket. So this doesn't want to fit through that hole, so Aiden's already upset. He's already panicking. And the reality is, we got the old carburetor. I wonder if it fits on that.
No, because look at the other side of the other cable.
Fits perfect.
Yeah, because I bent that one.
Actually, I lied. It doesn't fit at all. I just said that. So we're going to have to modify that bracket by simply just making that hole bigger. Big deal. Who cares? Big whoop, as they say in the industry. It's the other end that's going to be interesting. So we've got an accelerator pedal up here that works this rod right here. At this back end of the rod, there's a spring that acts as the return spring for the pedal. And then there's this thing right here, this little collar with a little bolt attached to it. And the idea is you would take this bolt out, you would stick that eyelet over the bolt and screw the bolt back in, and then you would move this collar along here and you would tighten the bolt down to clamp it in whatever position you needed to clamp it in, to take the slack up in the cable and adjust it. Okay? So the original cable was made to go from here to the engine. The cables that Aiden found online that have the right connections are made to go from the engine all the way up to the pedal up in the front here. Different pedal setup. Now we could have actually made a hole and put a bolt on this pedal and done that, but we don't need to do that. All we need to do is on this end, we've got the cable, we've got this little, see this little thing right here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So all I have to do is make something that will allow this to basically be clamped onto this collar. I can actually even reuse this collar.
Can't you just put it through the bolt, like underneath the bolt?
I could, but the problem is what happens is when you tighten that bolt, as you tighten it, it's going to crush these, it's going to crush this stranded wire. And as you turn it and tighten it down, it's going to twist and it's going to actually cut and damage this wire. Now, we could put a little piece of metal in here so that as the bolt tightens down, it's pushing on a little piece of metal that is clamping on that. So there's a few different ways we can do this, but it's going to be pretty easy to fabricate something to make this cable work on here.
And did you see that cable is actually pretty small?
The other issue we gotta resolve is this cable right now can do this. It can come right through here. That's not good. We need to be able to have this cable jacket stay put here, fixed, so that this can move and the cable jacket doesn't move with it. Follow me?
Mm-hmm.
But I got a way to fix that too. You know what we're gonna do? We're going to take an old bicycle brake cable adjustment screw and we're going to put that on here because that's the size this is. You can tell just by looking at it. It's the same size.
Mm-hmm.
It's nowhere near as big as like a motorcycle cable. And we'll be able to use that to mount it there. Might have to modify the size of this hole to accept the bicycle part, but it'll work. So I'm not worried at all about what you're worried about. I'm not worried. He's worried. All right, quitting time. My favorite part of the day.